Hello, hello. Whew. Let's get into it, baby. Yeah. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mary June Tracy. I'm a psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and an astrologer. So, I come to you with the 411 of the shenanigans of the craziness of the planets, and a little bit of my insight of what I see or feel with the crazies that are happening today, or the uncrazies and the beautiful and the blissful. You never know the twists and the turns that happen. And I usually put my lipstick on and play with my hair because my hair is like kind of wild. But hey, let's go with it. Um, do I have my coffee? Yes, I do have my coffee in my little love mug. Christmas spirit is here. I always find that after Christmas is more of a Christmas feeling than before Christmas. And I think because it's all the hustle and bustle and the craziness that's before Christmas, and everybody's just scrambling for this and that and the other thing. So this time of year it is a wind down, like we're winding down. We are really looking at, people are maybe wondering what they're going to do for New Year's Eve. Me, I'm usually home. I'd rather stay home and just be peaceful and do some meditations on New Year's Eve, or Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, yeah. Then get out and be with the hustle and bustle. I know when you're younger, you want to get out there. You want to just, go for it. So we still have Mercury retrograde, and it's in Sagittarius, and it's squaring off to Neptune in Pisces for the second of the third time. Last time it did it was on November the 27th. So think back to the end of November and connect the dots to what is unfolding to you now. So if you start to look at what was happening at the end of November, and sometimes it's like, oh my God, the end of no, we can't even remember what we had for breakfast last week, right? So it can get a little bit discerning and a little bit, that's why you keep a journal. Um, some people are really good at remembering things and doing things. Other people are not. Other people need, I have a friend who can remember on this date what happened, blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, they'll just ramble it off exactly what they did on that date, which is not very common. Not a lot of people can do that, right? So, having journals, and that's probably why I have so many of them, is that you start to look at it. You start to look back. Oh, in October, this was happening. November, November 19th, um, on what happened then. And going up to, we're moving into Blessing Day, strike, all this. So I don't know about you, I have like 4 journals on the go, right? I have all these journals on the go. But I know I wrote something on that day. It's somewhere in here. But that's, where I was looking at what I was going to be doing for December, my Advent calendar. This is where start looking at the different things for then, and also looking into, don't want to get off topic, but looking into my my shadow to light kind of workshop, and how things it's just changed and everything from that, and that Neptunian energy with Mars, so information coming in. So even, reevaluating information that was coming in for you, or even coming in over the whole December. So this is where who or what is the nebulous or confusing, deceptive, dishonest, or not above board, or alternatively, what or who is the escapist, addictive, checked out, or spiritual bypassing. So these are the kinds of things to start to look at. Are you spiritually bypassing, or are others spiritually bypassing you, or escaping? Who's, the deception, and just watching. I've been trying not to watch, but things that are coming across my feed from things in the Middle East. I just read something about the woke think Jesus was a Muslim. Muslims, the religion was not founded till I think after Christianity. So, um, I don't know. And and then um, a group saying that they've taken over Paris, to uh, minimum wage being raised in parts of California to $20, $25 an hour to work at McDonald's. And I just think about how much that's going to cost for your burger, right? The cost of your burger. Um, it's just all the craziness and the chaos that's coming through right now. And it's really not to get caught up into it, right? And I mean, we have that Mercury Mars conjunction today or later on today, and that really, is a real punch. And it's, when we have the Mercury Mars at its best, can be about speaking up, taking a stand, taking action, making things happen. The shadow of these two can manifest as a conflict, arguments, aggression, attacks, violence, accidents. So navigate the conscious today and tomorrow very, um, you know, precisely, or just making sure that you're aware before you go out. So there's probably going to be a lot of crazy people on the road. So really be aware of that, and being, a lot of people being angry. I wouldn't, this isn't really a dad going shopping, but I mean, people will. The Mercury and Mars square with Neptune is coming in tomorrow. So we would all do well to question things and not take things at face value. First, starting with ourselves and our self-righteous beliefs and our hubris, but also extending that out to others in our lives, the media and the world at large. So there's going to be some, as I was just stating, a lot of the crazy news that's going to be coming in, and a lot of information coming in. You got to take it at face value. You just got to, like, okay, this is just stupid, or this this doesn't make any sense, and you'll find that. So a lot of things that are going to be coming in, just people are trying to yank your chain. People are trying to just see what they see how far they could push you, kind of thing. The good news is if you've done any shadow work or inner work, good morning, Shar, you have to learn to see through your own facets. So we're coming into a lot of shadow work. 2024 is going to be a lot of shadow work, really looking at the things, coming into the deepness of, if you want to do something, if you want to get to a certain point in your life, you got to look at the shadows and the blocks and the belief systems and the values that are blocking you from getting there, right? And this year coming up is going to be a huge year of a lot of twists and turns and crazy transits that are coming through for 2024, that are really going to be challenging, really going to get you to look deeply into oneself, and how that lays out in how you deal with the world around you, right? And how you are stepping forth with the world around you. And this is in the midst of all the Neptunian energy, and we have the sun trine Jupiter, which is beautiful. Sun trining Jupiter's is always a very beautiful, energetic, but this is, the morning perfecting the full moon aspects to Jupiter, and activating a slow and standstilling of Jupiter. Jupiter's standing still. It's not moving because it's going to be going forward on December 30th, 31st. So it's going to be going forward. And the Jupiter sign squaring to Neptune. Also, this is not all, Jupiter's other sign, not all is love and light. And that's the other thing. It's not all positive and expansive, and some things can be better than they seem. And this is where you're going to find, and a lot of people are getting scammed, so a part of this energy too, whatever's expanding. So when you're looking at the banking system, a lot of people are coming in and saying, oh, I got this letter from the bank, and it has their letterhead and everything else, but it's not from the bank. It's scammers, websites coming up that look like the bank's websites. So there's a lot, when you come to illusions and things like that are happening, there's a lot of that that's coming forward. And we're going to see a lot more of that in the coming year. We're going to see where people thought they could come in and get an entry level job, but with if they're going to raise minimum wage, especially in the States, to like 20, 25 bucks an hour, there's not going to be a starting job. What are you going to, you're going to have a huge unemployment issue that's going to come in, where because these people are going to get laid off because the companies, if they're doing delivery, why am I going to pay you delivery when I can use DoorDash or something else and I'd rather pay that? It's a lot cheaper. So we're going to find that, especially this is going to be sort of the start of it. So as we are heading into 2024, and if you haven't joined me for my predictions for this Saturday night at 6:30, please do. It's $30 and I do my predictions. It is going to be recorded, but the recording is only going to be for a limited time. Then the recording is going to be expired. I'm not keeping the recording up. There's certain reasons why I'm not doing that. So if you're wanting the recording, the recording will be for a limited time. So anyways, but this is where, the shadow is the balance of the yin and yang, call us. And can we hold both without running away from one or chasing after the other? This is really a time of balance. This is a time of bringing that, the polarities. What are the polarities? What is pulling you? Why is it pulling you? Again, this is coming into what is it that you are wanting to create and getting out of what you are normally doing. If you are, this is getting out of routines, pushing people out of routines. If you have a crazy routine that this is what I do every single day, it's going to push you to change it, to activate something different. Right? Okay, thank Dana. I'll put you down definitely. So if there is a push, that you are feeling like, but I don't want to do this or whatever, there's going to be huge insurgence that's coming in for people to make an active change in their life. The active change is that to better yourself in order for you to shine more light, in order for you to do things differently. So that's part of this Neptunian squaring off with Mars and with Mercury. So, and it can be very, because it's in Sagittarius, Neptune's in its home sign, so it's ruler, it's there. Mars just wants to go forward and get things done. Mercury wants to get the information. So there could be a clash of you got to wait to get the information. You can't push so far. You got to make sure you do your steps out. So lots of confusion coming in. Lots of confusion, might be feeling overwhelmed. So there's also with Mars in the retrograde, coming in, and then they're trining Eris. So the will and the drive and the mind and the intellect both harmoniously linked with activism and the goddess. So there could be, this is going to reveal a lot of chaos, discord no one was looking at. So nobody was there. So you got to think, what aren't people looking at? What aren't people paying attention to? You draw your conclusions, take a look at it, because there's a lot that's happening, and especially when it comes to the immigration, and that's what I keep, the migration. Jupiter rules things to do with immigration and migration, and people moving and people transitioning, and Eris coming in here, as one is, squaring the two boys, and then one is trining the two boys. So we're going to see things come up to the surface that people have not been looking at or trying to bypass, or they're wanting to be polite, because if they say anything wrong, they're afraid that, I'll be considered prejudiced, or I'll be considered a bad person because I said I don't want so much immigration in my, or into my country, or whatever it is. Like, so this is where you're going to find this resurgent, this energy coming up of it. And remember, the North Node is in Aries, and Aries just separated from it, but Chiron's coming in, right? So hey, woo! The Chiron North Node, Jupiter and Saturn, Uranus are tensely aspected with the South Node. So the North Node with Aries in Aries and the South Node in Libra, lessons and opportunity will be taking place on the next level over the next year. So now is the time to get clear of what it is the nodal journey is asking you to do. It's asking you to take actions. It's asking you to take steps to get out there. It's, when we look at our 2024, is there's just so much there's going to be so much conflict that's going to be happening there for people because people are wanting to have things done a certain way, and this is the way we've done it. We've always made, you know, it's getting away from the shiny things, right? And getting into the practicality where people might be thinking, here's a crazy thing. People might be thinking that, oh, I'm going to stock up on toilet paper. That's exactly what I need. Okay, toilet paper is nice to have, but toilet paper is a shiny thing. It's not the thing that maybe you actually need to start stocking up on, right? There's other things that you might be having to get. Other things, and this is thinking outside of the box. Maybe it's, maybe you need to stock up on propane. Maybe it's stocking up on candles and um food, dehydrated food, things like that. These are things that people may not be thinking about when we are going to be having, especially with Uranus coming near the end of Taurus. So it's this electrical energy on Earth. So electrical waves coming in on Earth. That's going to cause vibrational changes. That's going to cause where electrical energies are going to come shorted out because it's going to get us to look at things. So a lot of outages, a lot of shortages, um, things that you expect, and I've been saying this, I know I've been saying this since 2019, that things that you expect that you wanted at the grocery store are no longer there. Sugar. Um, if you drink Pepsi, you might not be able to get the Pepsi that you want. But this is where it's like, okay, it's not necessarily to stock up on maybe all of the water bottles, but maybe a water filtration system and the special straws and things like that. Those would be the things that would be more practical. But these are things that, well, they're not shiny. They're not, I want something to wipe my bum. That's easy. I don't want to wash out a cloth. Just throwing that out there. But these are the practicality of things that you need to think about. And the more you start to sort of look at the practicality, the things is that you're shifting your perspective, you're shifting in a way that you're changing a lot of your belief systems, you're changing a lot of your values and your habits. And when you start to do that, you start to see the world in a different way. You start to see things expanding in a different way. The ploy and things that are coming out and the things of lower interest rates is just a ploy in itself. Do you think um it's going to really, I don't know, we'll just leave that. We'll just leave the interest rates rate where they are and where it's going to go. So my husband's show just popped on. So anyways, I'm gonna just gonna put it on pause again. He's watching Rush Hour. It's a good movie. And it's not going to go on pause. That's okay. There we go. So if I have that playing for too long in the background, what happens is that it gets demonetized and whatever. But so much with this energy, and especially with Neptune, is going to lead to a lot of illusions. Jupiter not only expands things that are positive, but he does that of negative. So he doesn't judge what it is. So you're going to see a lot, and especially with Eris, information coming up, a lot of things that is discord and crazy come up to the surface that maybe you didn't really look at or you didn't want to look at. And it's going to be in your face. And it's going to be in your face in different ways. And this is what you have to be prepared for. You might think that, oh, it'll never happen here. We live in Canada. And I watched where there was a lineup at Cross Iron Mills outside, like the lineup to the Nike store. That's the shiny things. That's the shiny things. People are going to do what people are going to do, but it's like they lie. It's like, I don't know how. Anyways, lined up all the way outside of the mall and around the mall to get to that, right? And I was just like, "Oh my god, the malls were packed yesterday." And I'm like, people are in a false delusion of the world, or where they are, or thinking that everything's safe. We're fine. It's not affecting us here. That's over there. But they forget that with this vibration that's coming in, what's over there is going to be over here. It's going to affect you in different ways. You're going to see it in different ways, right? So it's like those shiny things that you think are so important, right? Um, are not going to be as important to you. And that's what you got to look at, and that's what you have to start to really change a lot of the habits that you do, change a lot of things that are coming in. And if you're just sort of like, "Oh, mama, you're just shooting out your ass again." Fine, that's okay. I haven't been wrong so far, unfortunately. But this is where it's like, when you see this energy and these things that are happening, and it's given me that same kind of feeling. And a lot of things are going to be hitting on January 20th, just like they did in 2020. But you're going to times that by 100. So this is a preparedness time. This is a time of getting things together, of getting connected. Look at what my husband, oh, yummy, 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 yummy. Um, this is about preparing, getting things together, and really changing the way that you look at the world around you. And this can be a very positive, loving, because you're bringing in more inspiration, bringing in more ideas. You're getting clearer on your vision of what you want to do. But change is never easy. It's never easy, because we get very comfortable with our, the way that we do things and how we want. It's like, you know, it's changing. It's like saying, okay, you can't do it that way anymore. You got to do it this way, right? And for many signs don't like that. Capricorns don't like change. They don't. This is my route. And it's saying, no, you can't go that route. We got to go this way. So it's changing your route, changing the way and the direction that you're going to do things. So I'll be finished in just 2 minutes, Steve.
No, it was. I don't remember what it said.
Whew. 9 of Swords. So our card today is the 9 of Swords. Worry. What are you worrying about? What what is it that you are getting, freaked out about? What are you overthinking about? So write it down. If you're worried, you're overthinking things, you're like, "Oh my god, all of the Mary's just freaking me out." Write it out. Then write out what you can do. Okay, it's like, "Oh my god, what about the water system?" Okay, the water system. Maybe I need to go onto Amazon and look at different water systems, or maybe I need to buy a Brita. How much are those straws? $8. There's straws out there that filter water, right? So there's different things that I can start doing to bring in, a positive change. And you might say, "Well, I'll never use it." You never know, right? Maybe it's candles. Maybe you can go to IKEA and buy a bunch of candles. They have those candles. They have boxes of candles that you can buy, so you can have backup for candles and stuff like that. Clay pots, the little clay pots, and you can put a candle in. You can heat up a small area just in case the power grid goes down. They're just saying in Canada they want everybody to go on electric. That was coming out in the news. It's like, "Oh, we want to make all of Canada on electric." So what about those people with gas stoves? What about the keg? I'm just thinking of all the restaurants that, but this is where, a lot of people, this is where people are going to start freaking out, and they're going to start really overthinking it. And so what do we need to do? We need to trust that new things are going to come in, new ways, new ideas that are going to take us. They're going to take us. Information is going to take us to somewhere new. So from here, from the worry, it's like, okay, I'm going to give that up to God. I'm going to give it up to the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and a miracle, and know that I'm going to be transported to somewhere different, because I got to trust. I got to trust and have faith. I got to trust and have faith that this new light, this new energy that's going to come in, it's going to lead me. This light is going to lead me somewhere different. And is it going to be difficult? Yeah, it is, because it's going to be a change. It's not going to be where it's going to be easy peasy and it's just like, oh yeah, this is great. No, it's going to be because we have to change our habits. We're going to be changing our values, and we're going to be changing a lot of our belief systems. And in doing so, it's going to take us somewhere. It's going to take us to a better place. And in taking us to a better place, we're going to have our spiritual values. So spiritual values are coming in, and that's that Neptunian energy. Spirituality, bringing in that spiritual self and asking ourselves, how am I able to connect to my divine, to the higher self, to source? How am I connecting and trusting and listening to the information that's coming forth? And taking my time, because it's going to take your time. We got a whole year that's coming in that's going to really bring us into a lot of turns and changes and ups and downs, but it's also going to bring in some pivotal, beautiful energies that are going to be something that we've never seen before. So, but that's where the spiritual part is. So there you go. Have a great one. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless you. I'm going to eat my breakfast because I got readings to do today. I'm going to send you guys out with so much love. Thank you for being a part of my community. And if you are wanting to book a reading, definitely get a hold of me, DM me, or email thegubermama@gmail.com. And have a blessed day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.